Hey, hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to see about transfer of heat, in particular about conduction. So let's begin. So first of all, we know heat is a form of energy, and this energy transfers from a hot body to a cold body. Okay, so the transfer of heat, okay, this transfer of heat from a hot body to a cold body can be divided into three types. One is conduction, the second one is convection, and the third one is radiation. Okay, so now in this video we're going to see in detail about conduction. So conduction is a process of heat transfer from one molecule to another without actual movement of the molecules. Okay, so it can be one molecule or it can be one atom. Okay, so what happens here is, we know that heat is getting transferred from a hot object to a cold object. Okay, so now if you go to the atomic level of an object, the heat transfer from one atom or one molecule to another without actual movement of those molecules or atoms. So there is no movement of atoms or molecules during this heat transfer, and this mode of transfer takes place in solids. So in particular, in case of solids, this kind of heat transfer is taking place, that is conduction. Maybe let us take an example, okay, or an illustration, and try to understand what exactly this definition is trying to tell us. Okay, so now you just imagine that there is a candle and you're holding a metal rod, okay, in front of the candle, and this metal rod, let us consider that this metal rod is a iron rod. Okay, and we know that the symbol of iron is Fe. Okay, so iron atoms are present in this. So these are the atoms, whatever I have shown here, these are the atoms. Now what happens to the atoms when you're trying to heat this? Okay, so now I have placed the candle, this is the energy, okay, heat energy. Now when I'm holding in this way, what happens to these atoms? Okay, so maybe after some time what you feel is that, like, initially this particular region will be very hot, okay, and slowly this region also will become hot. Okay, as you can see, the temperature also, initially the temperature is very high at this particular region, and somewhat like it is very low as you go towards the right side. Okay, you can see the temperature also. Right, now when you have started to heat, the atoms, the iron atoms absorbs the energy. Okay, and what is happening to this energy? This energy, it is getting transferred to the other atoms. Okay, so slowly when the energy is getting transferred from one atom to another atom, this region also will become hot, and this region will become hot, and finally this region also will become hot. How? It is because of the transfer of energy, which is called as conduction. Okay, we know that when you're taking a solid object, okay, all the atoms present in the solid object will be vibrating. Okay, some vibration will be there, but when you're providing the energy, okay, the vibration will get increased, okay, and it will try to move. So when the vibration is getting increased, the energy will be transferred from one atom to another atom. Okay, so let us go in depth still more and we'll try to understand. So what I have done is I have zoomed out around 4 atoms here. Okay, so what happens when you are heating? So first, the atoms will vibrate, and these atoms will vibrate more, and the energy is getting transferred to the next atom. So once if it is vibrating more, again the energy is getting transferred to the next atom, and again to the next atom. So the heat is getting transferred from one atom to another atom. Okay, so when the vibration of the atoms are more, during that time the temperature also will be more, the energy also will be more. Okay, at one point of time it tries to collide with other atoms, and the energy is getting transferred from one atom to another atom. So this kind of process, like this is the transfer of energy taking place in case of solids, which we are calling it as conduction. Okay, you're clear with this? Like when we have took this illustration, I think it would be very clear, right? So now, why did we use a metal rod? Why can't we use a wooden object or a glass in place of a metal rod? What would happen if we do that? Okay, so to understand that, there is a classification. Generally, materials are, or the objects are classified on the basis of the rate of transfer of heat, like how fast the transfer of heat is taking place in each and every object. Like in all the objects, the transfer of heat, the rate of transfer of heat will not be the same. Okay, it depends on the objects. So we are classified into two types. One is conductors and another one is insulators. So when it comes to conductors, these are the materials that allow the transfer of heat through them very easily and rapidly. So in this case, if you take a conductor, the transfer of heat will be very fast, okay, and easily it can transmit. Okay, the examples, they have given examples: copper, iron, steel, or these are examples of conductors. But when you're taking insulators, materials that do not allow the transfer of heat through them easily and rapidly are called as insulators. So here, in case of insulators, these are the materials in which the transfer of heat will not take place very easily, and also it will not take place very rapidly. Okay, so these kind of materials are called as insulators, or even you can called as bad conductors of heat. Okay, so examples are wood, clay, and glass. These are the examples of insulators. Okay, I hope you're clear with this transfer of heat, and in particular we have discussed about conduction, and you have got a challenge where you're going to find out the different applications of conductors and as well as insulators of heat in our day-to-day life, like where and all you can see this conductor and as well as insulators. Thank you all, happy learning.